Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we're joined by the NSIC Baseball Tournament MVP, Minnesota State's Lewis Moggers. Lewis, welcome to the Spotlight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, as we do each week, let's start with you telling us a bit about yourself.
So I'm Lewis Moggers. I am from Mankato West High School, right-handed pitcher, first baseman, and I'm majoring in environmental science.
All right, a Mankato native. Your father, Matt, is the head coach at Minnesota State, been there a long time, almost a decade and a half. Talk to us through the process of you becoming a Maverick.
Yeah, I think it was I had a pretty complicated process. I took a look at some schools, but he's had such a winning program here, and it's kind of it was always my goal to play championship baseball, kind of like we're looking at doing now.
A unique situation. A lot of kids, I coach my son at youth. I know a lot of high school coaches get to coach their children. But what's it been like for you to have your father as a coach at the collegiate level?
It's been pretty fun. He's really good at what he does. We just kind of had to figure some stuff out and how it was going to work. But no, it's been great. We get along great together on and off the field, and definitely have our times when we can talk about baseball and when we can just enjoy other things outside of baseball. So really enjoyed it so far.
All right, let's get to the dime. And the Mavericks are having a banner season. You set the NSIC record for wins in a season with 36 on your way to the regular season and tournament championships. And you are up to third in the latest coaches ranking. What makes this year's team so special?
I think it's just the depth we have. You look at guys like Aiden Byrne and Nathan Kelly that have been in this program for 4, 5, 6 years, or even guys like Nick Baker that have been through 5, 6 years of college ball. It's all that experience that adds up. So when you get in those big moments and even picking up underclassmen, I think it's super important to have those guys to be there and set an example.
You were the starting pitcher in that final championship game, holding the Vikings scoreless for the first three innings as the Mavericks built a 6-0 lead. You guys used 12 different pitchers in this tournament. How important was it for you to get out there and have a quality start in that game?
It was pretty important in my mind, especially being a 3 year guy here. I think it was super important for me to go out there and give it my all and take up as many innings as I can while we got our offense going.
Yeah, so you scored 6 runs early, but it was still a close game until that sixth inning where the Mavericks poured in 10 runs to break the game open. You homered twice, not in the game, in that inning. Talk about those at bats and how that inning changed the game.
Yeah, I think before the inning, I remember talking to Ike Mazinga and Zach Stroh, and was like, "Hey, like as many runs as it's going to take," and that was kind of the mindset throughout those last 3, 4 innings. Is pitching staff's going to get us some outs, and we just have to go out there and keep giving them some support. And yeah, it was just the mindset of this is it. We gotta go now.
Yeah, Augustana pulled out a 15-14 win on Friday that forced you into extra games. You had to play again that day, then come back and win twice on the final day of the tournament. Knowing that's going to tax your pitching staff, what was the team's mentality knowing you had to go and battle back through the tournament?
I think everyone was definitely a little frustrated. I think we knew we definitely didn't play our best game. Um, but 15-4 game or 14 game, like that's like unheard of, especially at that level. So yeah, everyone was definitely a bit frustrated, but it kind of set us up good because we just had to get out there, and the nice thing is we play again that night, so you gotta flush it and do it all over again.
Battle back, you did. You won the tournament. You earned the automatic bid to the NCAA Central Region. You guys now get to host the four-team Central Region tournament. That's May 15th to 18th. You're hosting Arkansas Monticello on Thursday at 6 p.m. What do you know about the Boll Weevils, and what are keys for making another run in the postseason?
Yeah, I think they'll be a good squad. I think everyone at this point will be. It should be a good game. We just have to keep playing our game offensively, and defensively just keep pitching well and getting outs. And I'm excited. I think this group is ready, especially playing at home. I think it'll be really fun. Um, Everyone's been super excited to get after it.
So come game day, any special routines for yourself, superstitions, anything you got to do before a game?
I'm not too superstitious. I always wear two pairs of socks. I don't know if that's something more superstitious or just comfortable for me, but um, no, I think I just kind of have maybe the same routine stretching before a game, but it's nothing too crazy that I consider
And then,
superstitious.
and then our final question for you today, what's been the best piece of advice you've been given during your athletic career?
The best piece of advice I've gotten is probably don't be afraid to fail. I think that's something that definitely, you learn from your failures, and that's definitely something that's brought me success during my career.
Yeah, especially in baseball, game of failure it is. So, obviously, you've been succeeding quite well with you and the Mavericks this past season. That's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Lewis, best of luck to you and the Mavericks this weekend.
Thank you.